Well, good morning. It was one of those mornings again when I woke up early and I thought I may as well get up because I'm not going to go back to sleep. I started thinking about what I was doing here. I was thinking about the comments that different people like Mark had sent me, about how that this stuff will dissolve the paint on the wing of my aircraft, and I thought, yeah, that's right. And the more I thought about that, I thought, what am I going to do here? Am I going to clear coat it? And got another comment from a viewer said that the clear coat is going to make it look different. And yeah, I know that. If I was to clear coat the top of that wing, let's say I was just to clear coat half of it, it changes it. Now, there was something I did think of earlier this morning, and that is that the underside of this lower wing is not going to be seen. So I was thinking maybe I'll do a practice one. I've got extras here. I'll put one right there and just see what happens. It's a thought. I don't know if I'm going to do it. The day is just starting. What do we got here? 5:33 a.m. That's not p.m. That's a.m. Yeah. When I was working at the bus depot here in Winnipeg, I often was at work already at this time. For many years, I would get up at 3:35 in the morning, and I'd walk about a block and a half over and catch what was known as a work bus. The work bus used to get me downtown to the Winnipeg bus depot by about just before 5 o'clock. So I would officially start at 5. And I did that for many, many years. Hard to believe now. And that was a long time ago when I think about it. Anyway, I retired in 2005, in case somebody wants to know. And I have not regretted it. Yes, I could have made more money by staying on, but I have enjoyed life. Yeah, some people, their work is their life. Well, mine was in a way, but the last 4 years there was a change at the bus depot. The union got in. It just wasn't that I don't know. There was just it just sort of grated against my nerves, you might say. Things just weren't fun anymore. Like I keep saying, you got to have fun in life, right? It's short, believe me. Life is short. Now, speaking of a short life here, let's get on with what we're going to do today. I'm going to do a test. Then we want to try and get our bracing in our hull. I want to do some more tests on that too before I actually glue it. I want to make sure that if I glue these in place, that the deck is going to be the right height. So I think we should do that. But you know what? Let's roll back to how we got to this place, and then we'll continue on. Well, this is kind of embarrassing. I'm sitting here at my editing program right now, and I bring it up, and there is no rollback. If there had been a rollback, it would be in here already. There is no video. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I did not come back to the model table yesterday. You saw the rollback. What we ended up with at the end of yesterday's episode, that was the rollback. That's how we got to where we are. Anyway, thought you might just sort of like to see how I do this here. And here is the file that we just took. So we drop it in my program. I drag it down into the timeline, and we're ready to boogie, as they say. Okay, so I'll be editing this out, and I'll try and get the opening title in time with the thunk, and that's how I do it. Well, it's more involved than that, but anyway, this is basically it. Thought you might like to see my program. This is the DaVinci Resolve, by the way. Now I'm starting to worry about myself here because the following clip I thought I had put in yesterday's episode, but I guess I missed it. Well, here it is now. Now we got a message from our friend Vic, and Vic says that Windex is available on Amazon in the UK. So I went on the UK Amazon website here now, and yeah, sure enough, here it is, Windex, and it's even Amazon's choice. Now, I don't know, maybe this is a recent thing. You know, it could well be that Windex heard that the model ship guy was making them look bad, and so they made it available in the UK. So, yeah, all you UKers, there it is, and you don't need to thank me. Okay, I'm going to want to get going here before my water starts to cool down and I have to warm it up again. But speaking of UKers, Jason suggested, why don't you put the other aircraft together, which we have the parts here for, and you could put it on a wire beside the Rodney, and it would look like it was doing a flyby. And that reminded me, way back before I built my Titanic, there was another fellow who had built a Titanic, the same kit actually. That's what sort of got me interested in the Titanic that I have down in the basement. But he had also done an aircraft carrier in 1/350 scale. And what he did was he took one of the airplanes that came with it. It was a jet aircraft, and he inserted a very fine but strong wire up the afterburner and had it looking like it had just taken off the end of the deck of the aircraft carrier. So yeah, that's a good idea. I've seen that before. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's a good idea, though. Okay, I've cut out one of the circles here. I forget what you call those circles. They look like a bullseye. Gives you something to aim at if you're the enemy, right? Anyway, this Melamac cup brings back a story. And first of all, this goes back to when I was a young teenager. I was probably about 13, 14 when my mother got a set of Melamac dishes, and this is one of the few things that are left from it. And before she bought her set or got her set, she went over to a friend's place, and the friend had just got a set and was bragging about how they were unbreakable. So my mother's friend takes one of these cups and she hurls it to the floor. Well, don't you know, it cracks. And she says, well, it's not supposed to do that. So she takes another one and hurls it to the floor and breaks it as well. I guess the idea is if you just drop them, they won't break. But, you get them going about 60 miles an hour and they hit the floor, they're going to break, right? So anyway, my mother was so upset. She says, well, of course they're going to break. Anyway, we got a set. This is just one of the few things that's left over. So I use this occasionally for nostalgia's sake. Anyway, I'm going to put the macro lens on here, and we're going to try and see if our micro set is going to dissolve this paint. It probably will, because this paint is water soluble, and this micro set is not only, I think it probably will. So, but I'm going to give it a try anyway, just to see what happens. Okay, I was just thinking here, it's a real shame to waste this little thing, because I'm almost sure that this is going to be a disaster. Now, my center of focus is right here. That's where it should be the sharpest. And I'm just going to put some of the micro set on it, and we're just going to watch and see what happens. I'm not seeing any paint coming off on the brush. Maybe we could have done it. Oh, I'm not seeing any paint. Well, let's get our water going here. Doesn't seem to want to come off. Maybe I didn't wait long enough. No, I don't want to kink it. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be wanting to come off. Our paint is still staying good here. Yeah, the decal is deforming. I wonder if there maybe a problem with these decals. Does not want to slide. Does not want to slide. Wonder why. Let me get my stronger glasses on and see if I can figure out what's going on here. I've kind of damaged the edge there. That's too bad. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. I re-wet the back of the. Oh, there we go. There we go. I just looked at my monitor. I obviously do not have the light right. Now let's get another brush and get some of that moisture off of there. I might have a bit of a silvering problem going on here because. Okay, I'm going to flood it with microset. This is microset that I'm using right now, not water. I better get the lid on my microset here. I'm going to knock it over and have a mess going on. I want to try and absorb some of that. Without moving the decal. I wonder if I can, is it possible to kind of, oh, I don't want to move the decal. I want to try and smear it back here. I guess I've damaged this one edge there. Well, let's just leave it like that and see what happens. We'll check it in a few minutes. Yesterday evening, about 12 minutes after 10, the last nibble was nipped from the carrots that I put out yesterday. Now, you remember I said that I got up real early this morning? Well, I did, and I looked in the monitor and I saw movement. Yeah, another little creature was looking for leftovers. About 8 minutes later, I did put out fresh carrots. And as you can see here, by 8 a.m., the rabbits had gotten into them, and they're about half gone already. Well, quite a bit of time has passed here now. It's after 10 already. And I'm not seeing any damage to the paint. I would say our decal is on there pretty good. I'm not seeing any silvering either, so I think that microset did actually help. If I do the top of the wing, I'm just going to be careful not to damage the decal like I did here. It got folded underneath, I believe. Yeah, I guess I might have been able to fix that, but my experience with decals is, and I'm not real good at them, is that I usually end up wrecking the decal when I try to fix something like that. Now, I did realize what was wrong, and the reason I was having trouble getting it off the paper is because I did not wait long enough. I did actually wait a lot longer than what you saw there. I was taking footage out and speeding things up, so to speak. Yeah, it's our little brush isn't catching, so it might here though. Yeah, it's catching there just a little bit, but it's not really catching anywhere else that I can see. Okay, let's move on here. Okay, we got our plane right side up this time, and I'm taking the solva set. I'm just going to sort of wet the top area there with it. I left the decal a little longer in the water this time. Alright, now we're going to want to use the solva set to float it around, right? Now from any photos that I've seen, the circle was actually right close to the leading edge, but somehow I don't think that looked right. I think it looks better more like that, and it was quite a ways out close to the end of the wingtip here. I'm gonna do it differently this time. Instead of removing the salt, well, I always have to poke at it, don't you, Ron? Okay, let's leave it alone. Okay, I'm just going to leave it alone, and we'll come and we'll look at it in about an hour. Yeah. Oh, we had a bit of a sunrise this morning. It wasn't anything special. I'll stick it at the end of today's episode if it works out. And I'll do it in time lapse. Otherwise, it's nothing special really. So yeah. Okay, I have done the other one here now exactly the same way, and it's still wet. In fact, the microset is pooled on there right now. I can sort of see the reflection, and I'm just going to let it dry naturally the same way I did this one. I didn't notice any problem with the paint, and I was thinking afterwards, I think the reason that the paint was not affected is because that aluminum paint, even though it was an acrylic, it's different from the XF paints. At least that's my uneducated guess, because the microset here did not seem to affect it at all. Anyway, it's getting on here this morning, and yeah, I want to get going here and try and. I was sort of hoping to see if we could do something on the hull. Remember that shot I showed you earlier this morning of the rabbit at the carrots around 8 o'clock? Well, at the exact same time, we had a bird at the bird feeder. The birds are coming back. Yeah, I better get out there and do something about the fact that we're almost out of black oil sunflower seeds. Okay, I didn't time it, but I'm guessing about an hour has passed here. It's 11:30 in the morning, so that sounds about right. And our solva set has dried. I think these came out pretty good. And I'm very pleased and surprised that the solva set did not affect this paint. And I'm sure that those viewers that told me about having to clear coat are surprised as well. I really thought I was going to have to clear coat. That's why I did the test one underneath. It's not like I knew this was going to work and I was right and you were wrong or any of that kind of crazy stuff. I really thought that the solva set would dissolve this paint. So I'll have to remember that. This aluminum, where is it here? Oh, it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's move on here. You know, every time I think I'm going to get at the hull, I realize there's something more we got to do with this plane here. We will eventually get to the end of it. Okay, now, I think it was Allison was noticing that when we were setting the plane on the trolley here, I was trying to hook the step in behind the sorry to get my fingers in your way there. I think that's about right. The fuselage was going down in between. It's okay now, but I want to make sure that when I glue the back support, I need something more pointy here to point with. Maybe this brush would be better. Okay, when I glue this support to the bottom of the fuselage, that it doesn't go up the side of the fuselage. Otherwise, the plane is not going to be sitting level. It's going to be in a sort of a nose-up attitude. Right now, I do believe it's perfect. Let me look at the monitor. Well, we'll put it on the rotator and take a look at it there. Or maybe I should just go ahead and glue it in place. Now my thinking is that we want to glue it in place now, and then put this thing in a nice safe place. Oh, here, I see what's wrong. All right, now I see what happened. Now, did you see that? Notice how the fuselage has gone down in between this? So we're going to have to try and squeeze this together without breaking it. Maybe I could use my heat gun, and of course then I'll probably end up melting it. Anyway, we will get it. This is going to be something that I'm probably not going to be able to do on camera. And then we'll put this whole module away, and it'll be probably one of the very last things that goes on the ship, probably even after the rigging is done. And then the ship will go in the case, and because this is going to be really fragile. Okay, let's just put this aside for a little bit and take a look at our hull, and then we're going to have to call it a day. Now, I just wanted to show you that I really did find a safe place to put these things. Well, let me tell you, it is sure nice to see the sunshine outside and to be able to see a bit of a sunrise after the kind of weather we've had the last few days. All right, now we got to cut our parts off here. I don't think there's any need to look for numbers because it's pretty obvious. And I don't think we need to worry about keeping them separate because I don't think I can get one of these in the wrong place, if you know what I mean. There's only one way they can go. I wonder what these round things are for. I guess we'll find out eventually. But I think I'm going to leave that. We did get to the hull, folks. We sort of got to the hull. I'm almost sure that tomorrow I might want to mount the airplane on the cradle in tomorrow's episode. Well, when I say tomorrow, it'll probably be later this afternoon or this evening. But yeah, I'm going to call it quits here for a while. I know it's not even noon yet, but I've been at this now for, oh my goodness, off and on for 8 hours already this morning. So I think it's time to take a bit of a break here. So thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.